There we go.
Good evening, everybody. Danny and Wanda from Deepsouth Homestead.
Let's
Okay.
see. Here we go.
Should be okay.
Now, that's a lot better.
All right.
Okay.
I got to scoot up so I can see the chat, so
Yeah.
I can read and
We're
you
getting
can
old,
talk.
we're getting older. I'm having to lean forward to see it.
Yeah, I have to lean forward. Jean Blair must have got her book, so I'm glad of that. I see Darlene says it's on her want list, so that was the Back to Basics book that we sent.
Oh, okay, the Back to Basics. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, good evening. It has been a very, very warm day here today.
For several days.
Yes, actually been several days this week. And it's got everything jumping. All the bushes are starting to pop out and the greens are coming up and I mean everything.
It looks like spring.
It feels and looks like spring.
I planted flowers today.
Yep, Ms. Wanda did plant some flowers. Sure
planted
did.
tomatoes a couple of days ago.
I planted ryegrass.
Yeah, but that gets, the heat gets that.
The heat will get it, but it has time to come up and grow.
Yeah.
Because we still got all of March. Lou Kudrick says it's 87 today. It was 82 here today. Yeah.
I think it's been 80, 81, or 82 the last 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Kim West says been in 80s in the central Texas. Kenny's Acre said we got to 71 today in Tennessee. So it's rainy and warmer in central Kentucky. So
Little Blue House Farm in Mexico said trying some of your tricks here in Mexico and sharing on my YouTube channel.
Awesome. Somebody from Mexico.
I had to try and remember to see if I can find you. Hello from Boone's Mill, Virginia.
Yep.
Diana. All right.
Old Dominion Homestead said they're expecting 10 inches of snow tonight in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I don't miss, when I lived in Connecticut, I don't miss that. I'm going to be honest with you. I just do not miss that.
That little bit of snow we got, and it lasted a couple of days, was more than enough.
25 of rain in Pennsylvania, let's see, 45 in West Virginia, 39 in Washington State, 33 in Ohio, 40 in Southwest Missouri, 32 in cold in Ohio, upper 70s in
22 in Oregon.
I mean, well, we just as well get ready. We're fixing to
slipped off my chair.
We're fixing to, well, maybe not us, but it's a possibility that it might be us too, but everybody's fixing to go through one big, massive winter storm. We're saying
it stays a little above us.
They're saying it could be the worst one we've had. So if it's worse than the last one, it's going to be pretty bad.
All right, Beverly Johnson wants to know, would dirt from a pond clean out be a good for gardening?
Yes. Yes, because you would have your fish emulsion in that. Matter of fact, we did that here at Pecan Grove when we had the pond dug out here. We had all the dirt piled out to the side, and I went and got it and put it in all the raised beds and everything. So yeah, it's definitely good.
Yeah, we've been getting some yard work done. This morning I trimmed up the crepe myrtles at Deepsouth. Not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah.
And Danny was moving some stuff. And
yeah, I had the tractor with the grapple on it moving. Miss Wanda was going around trimming limbs off of trees and stuff like that, and I was taking the grapple on the tractor, cleaning up all the trash and debris and everything, trying to, it's spring almost, and it will be mowing here pretty shortly, looks like.
What tomatoes do you recommend for Southeast Texas? That's Linda.
Oh, y'all get extremely hot. I recommend any one of them that's not an indeterminate. The indeterminates just do not work good in the heat. We have learned that. We've about come to the conclusion that we're going to try to stick with determinants as much as possible.
Oh, I had to figure out what Rick was talking about. He says, Wanda, is this chat with AI Chatting with aged intelligence.
Yeah, you're chatting with aged intelligence today. Well, you're chatting with aged. I don't know how much intelligence there is in with it, but
I had to read that twice to figure that one out. All right.
Okay.
Where am I at? I'm trying to. All right, it jumped again.
It jumped. Boy, did it jump.
Will the storm be in the same area as the last one?
This one's going to probably run from about the 32nd parallel north. I mean, literally, it's going to engulf the whole upper part of the United States. And if this blocking high in the Gulf of Mexico weakens, it's going to come all the way down to us. But we're kind of hoping right now that this high pressure sitting in the Gulf of, I call it the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe it's the Gulf of America. Who knows? But in the Gulf, okay, let's just say in the Gulf, if it weakens, we'll get some cold down here. But if it stays strong, hopefully it'll keep it about the center of Mississippi and north.
All right, Vicky said she's having fun hunting for apples and pears that are productive and delicious in Zone 9. That sounds fun. Valerie said eggs went up $7 increase in one day from $21 to $28 for 60 count.
Whoa.
That's a huge
Well,
jump.
you know, we was at the Azure Standard pickup the other day, Monday, and I was talking to some people there, and plus I was talking to some other people, and they were talking about chickens running anywhere between $50 and $100 a bird for a good laying hen. Now, I don't know about that, guys. I did make a comment to one of them. I told him, I said, well, looks like eggs is going to become gold. Be like the goose that laid the golden egg. I said, that thing's going to be about made out of gold.
All right, East Texas Living says, why do you have your prepper shack on a little higher blocks than most I see? Because
the slope of the land, it's only one block high in the front end of it, and the back end of it, the hillside drops down at such a steep angle, the back end of it's like almost 3 blocks high.
We thought it was really level all across there. We found out our thoughts wasn't. It looks level.
It looks level, but it ain't.
It is not.
It
drops really fast. Teresa said, building a small greenhouse starting tomorrow. What percentage of shade cloth do I need in Athens, Georgia area?
In the Athens, Georgia area, I'd stick with the 40% in Athens, Georgia, because your heat this summer is going to be horrendous. You know, so I would stick with the 40%. I wouldn't go 50 because the plants is liable to get kind of leggy if you go 50. I would definitely stick with the 40%.
Let's see where we got.
Howard and Renee said they went to Sam's Club, didn't have any eggs.
Yeah. Weebison says, what's your elevation? A 7.6 earthquake in the Caribbean.
We are, let's just put this where we're way over 300 foot above sea level where we're at. You know, we're way above that. So I did see the earthquake in the Caribbean.
$10 a dozen for organic eggs.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, let's see here. Boy, it jumped again.
Do you ever grow cover crops in your plots? That's bins, fishing, and hunting.
Yes. We grow something in our food plots year round. Sometimes in the summer, when we have so many deer that when we plant, like I'll plant field peas or soybean or something like that, and by the time they get about 2 to 3 inches tall, they come in and just mow them down in just a little while. And then I got to come back right behind it and put in another cover crop. So one of the food plots we let this past year, we just let it grow up in just deep green vegetation of all kinds. Some morning glories. I mean, there was some bahia grass and all that. And we just left it all summer, and it seemed to do better doing it that way than it did me keeping it constantly cut down, trying to keep something planted. Now we have tried buckwheat. We've tried Milo and stuff like that. And by the time he gets 4 to 6 inches tall, unless we have electric fence or something around it, the deer just come in and just mow it down.
Yeah, he planted one of our apple trees and
I planted 2 apple trees
apples.
that I had grafted from over at Deepsouth Homestead. They was in the high tunnel, had pretty green leaves on them. I mean, and I set them out yesterday, and got up this morning and went out there, and the deer's already ate all the leaves off of them.
He was so mad.
I was so mad. I was like, I'm gonna have to go to Tractor Supply, I reckon, and get me another electric fence box, a solar one, and put around it.
All right. Do you fertilize your onions after ringing them? That's
No. Once onions reach a certain point, about like 2 weeks before it comes time to harvest them, do not fertilize or water them any longer. Once I ring them, I don't usually fertilize them very much afterwards. If I do fertilize them afterwards, I'll use something like Miracle Grow, or I'll go to Hall's Tool and buy, we have 20-20-20 from Hall's Tool. I'll use a liquid fertilizer. I will not use a granulated fertilizer, and I won't get it on the onion. I'll put it on the ground around the onion.
All right. What percentage of shade cloth should they use in Maryland? MD Maryland?
Yeah, in Maryland, oh man, y'all do not get very hot up there. I mean, you say you get hot, but it's not like what we have down here. Because I've been in Maryland many times, and it's nothing.
Maybe 30%.
I would probably go with 30% if I was
Is it
in Maryland. I wouldn't go with 40% because it just don't get, it's not that bad.
All right,
there.
somebody said bone sauce on the apple trees.
Ms. Wanda put bone sauce on our apple trees last year and almost killed them.
Killed several trees, so we're not putting it on the trees. I'm putting it on strips and around, not on trees. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Danny, I just planted 12 blackberry and 10 blueberries.
That's awesome. Awesome. I love to see people planting stuff that you can eat.
Lisa said she thought her Vidora onions had died, but they perked up this week and they may make it. That's the way ours were. They didn't look very good, but they're perking up a little bit.
They're perking back up now. Are they going to have time to make it? It all depends on the weather. If it will stay really cool through the month of March, then they may stand a chance of making it. But if it starts turning off extremely hot in March, I don't know. We'll probably have some like little 2-inch bulbs or something.
All right, Sharon said, I bought organic sweet potatoes to try to make my own slips. Can I use regular potting soil to place them in?
Yes, you can. Just don't wet it too wet until the slips get to coming up out of the ground. Once the slips get to coming up out of the ground, I mean, it needs a little bit of moisture for the roots to start forming, but once it starts shooting up slips, you can add just a little bit more water, because if you put too much water, the potato will rot.
All right, after watching your Azure haul, I joined and got my first grocery drop this past week, hoping to enjoy everything. Well, we went and got ours this week, and I hope to get the video up. Maybe it might be Monday before I get it up. But yeah, we're really enjoying the Azure to fill in with things that
they fill in the blank spaces.
Like we have run out of potatoes.
Yeah.
Because we didn't plant a lot last year. We harvested and had fresh potatoes for a while, but then we ran out, and I didn't can any last year, and so the French fries has come in really handy. And I bought the mashed potatoes, and Danny and I like those. They're pretty good. Because when we were out working, it's a quick fix for me to run in and do something.
I didn't see who it was, but they said they drastically cut back their blueberry bushes and said no berries this year. We learned a hard lesson on that. You don't ever cut them all back when you do it. You go into a clump of bushes and you cut like half of them back, and you let the others bear berries while these are beginning to grow, and next year you come in and cut the other half out, and by then the first ones that you cut are already back to bearing berries, and you don't miss out on blueberries, you know, so we don't ever cut ours all the way back hard ever again.
Aaron Mass said his root cellar turned out great. We have potatoes and onions stored in there now.
Yeah, root cellars turn out pretty good if you can keep them where they don't get any water in them. It's really good. Ours has been a blessing over at Deepsouth Homestead.
With the eggs, y'all can freeze those eggs. I used to take, like, most recipes call for 2 eggs or 3 eggs. Some of them call for 1, but I mean, you can do it any way you want. I took the little sandwich bag, not sandwich bags, what's the little one? Snack bags.
Snack bags.
I would scramble 2 eggs with a fork and go ahead and put them in a snack bag and get
Right
the air
on it.
out. Well, yeah, and you put 2 on it, lay it flat, and put it on a cookie sheet and let it freeze. Then take your regular Ziploc freezer bags and lay them in there, and you can get a lot of them in one Ziploc, and that way it's sealed into a freezer bag. And you can write on the freezer bag, all of them are 2 eggs in each one, or 3 eggs in them, or 1 egg, whichever way you do it. And that's the way to keep eggs. I've kept them up to a year before that way.
Yeah. 3B Homestead says, what is the best ground cover you have found? It depends on what you're talking about, whether it's for a garden or whether it's for a food plot. If it's for a food plot, we use red crimson clover. It's probably one of the best ground covers that we've found. And even for a garden, we have found that red crimson clover does fantastic in a garden. Because when you turn, if you let it go to seed, then you have a lot of nitrogen in the soil. Or you can turn it under as green manure and you still get a lot of nitrogen in the soil. So it's really a win-win, and it's not an invasive thing. And once you have it, if you let it go to seed, it just keeps coming back every year.
But the other ground cover is DeWitt.
Yeah, DeWitt is the
rollout.
The rollout ground cover. If that's what you're talking about, that's DeWitt from Grower Solution. There's a link in the description below where you can get that. It comes in 3 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, 12 foot, 16 foot. I mean, you can get it as wide as you want it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Belma A says, which blueberry bushes did you recommend? I remember you did that, but I forgot which ones they are. Belma, if you're in zone 8, then the Premier is probably the best blueberry we have found for zone 8. Now, the Premier does very, very well, and the Alapaha is a good pollinator for the Premier. The Alapaha doesn't get near as big as the Premier does, but the Premier is predominantly the one that we go with.
All right, so Miss Drew, let me mention this. Miss Drew Miller is on here. She sent me a email the other day, and I told her to remind me. She has a lot of fabric, and she says she's willing to meet somebody in her area. And Miss Drew, you'll have to tell me what area you're in so I can remember, because I can't remember. I want to say Tennessee, but I don't remember. She said she would meet anybody that does a lot of crafting and give them that fabric. So I'll try and watch Miss Drew to see where you're at, and we'll connect y'all. Y'all can send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com if you're interested, and write Drew Miller and fabric in it, the email, and I will get with her on where she's located. I know she told me, but I done forgot. Getting off, alarms going off. So where are you at, Ada, that you're having alarms going off?
She was in Puerto Rico.
Was she?
If I'm not mistaken, Ada, I believe you were in Puerto Rico. I think I seen.
Is that the where?
Yeah, that's just outside the Caribbean. Yeah.
So that's where she's might be having issues.
That maybe it's the tsunami warnings.
Does freezing eggs in ice trays taste okay, defrosted and cooked? Yeah.
As long as they're plastic ice trays, not aluminum.
Yeah. Lots of people will freeze the whole egg and then take it out, but I found scrambling them up made it easier on me. You can use your ice trays, your muffin tins, things like that, and freeze them and then pop them out. But I used them mainly in my cornbread and my cakes and things like that. And I did scramble some occasionally for us to have for breakfast.
Yeah. Blue Sky says, what pH levels do you need for blueberries? You don't want your blueberries to go over a 5.5. You want to try to stay around 5 if at all possible, in order for them to actually grow and produce like they're supposed to.
Yeah, I have some freeze-dried eggs also, and I think I bought some, when we were buying up some My Patriot Supply, I think I bought a container of powdered eggs. So, I mean, there's different ways. My Patriot Supply is in the link in the description below. You can buy powdered eggs. Now, I would probably think they've went up since eggs are going up.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't checked.
Well, we have, Wanda and I...
Ada is in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Wanda and I have found out that we've got powdered peanut butter, we've got powdered honey, powdered buttermilk, powdered eggs, powdered milk,
powdered lemon juice.
Powdered lemon juice from My Patriot Supply. When we see that stuff go on sale, we I don't know if you call it double dipping or not, but when it goes on sale, we'll go out there and then we use our own code still, you know, to purchase with. I mean, that's just being wise. It's not being bad, but
I actually opened the butter powder because I've not used it before, and it's from My Patriot Supply, and it's in a, what is it, number 10 can?
Yeah, number 10 can.
And so I opened it this week and made biscuits using the butter powder in it, and they were amazing. And I've had that powder for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It's only good for, I think it said 10 years, and I must have had it for 5 because I told Danny I have 5 more years on it. And I said, I don't want somebody to throw this away if I don't use it. So I went ahead and opened it, and I'm starting to use it. But we have the milk and honey, and like Danny said, a lot of the powdered things that we can just put on a shelf in the number 10 cans.
Yeah.
And use those.
Guys, this earthquake in the Caribbean down there is something to be taken serious. When it originally came out, they said it was an 8. They've dropped it to, I think it was a 7.6, and they were talking about they could be getting even more earthquakes, which would cause a massive tsunami warnings to go off in the islands down there. And I'm pretty sure that's what Ms. Ada was talking about a while ago, was the fact that they were probably getting tsunami warnings going off. And actually, well, what's going on in solar cycle 25, we have about, let's see, I think there's about 8, if I'm not mistaken, there's around 8 underwater volcanoes, super volcanoes, underwater super volcanoes that are getting ready to erupt. There's one just outside of Greece right now, and what do they call those islands?
I don't know, Santori.
Santori, something like that. The islands in Greece over anyway is setting on.
They've evacuated all that. They were doing that.
They have a massive underwater volcano there. There's one in the United States just off the coast of California. There's one down toward the Caribbean. There's one in Europe. I mean, guys, these big giant volcanoes, if one of them goes off, it can literally wipe out a quarter of the Earth's population, literally, with no problem.
If it's a massive one.
If it's a massive one, it can wipe out a huge part of the Earth's population. So let's pray that that these things don't go off, because the magma underneath them is building really, really. I mean, when I say building, it's really getting bad.
All right, so we do want to remember Miss Ada and people in her area in prayer after a while. All right, whatchamacallit wants my powdered everything recipe for biscuits. I will try to do a video this
those
week.
Things are,
and
they turned out
I'm
so
making myself
good.
a note because I wanted to do a video. We've been busy. We have been moving stuff and all week long, filling a dumpster
Yeah.
It's been crazy. I've not had time to do hardly anything as
Yeah.
far as videos is concerned, but I will try.
It's been pretty heartbreaking. Over at Deepsouth Homestead, we had a dumpster delivered this past week, and I've tried to give away as much stuff as I could to people that I knew that could drive and come get it. And I've had to throw so much stuff in the dumpster that we just don't need anymore, you know? And it just breaks your heart to see good stuff going in a dumpster, but when you've asked everybody you know, and nobody wants stuff, I mean, we don't need it anymore. We're too old for a lot of it, you know?
Yeah. So it did, I mean, we did a lot of cleaning out, especially in his shop. He had just stashed stuff and
26 years of construction in a shop.
Yeah. And I would pick up a box that had nothing in it. I'm going, why do we have this box? Well, my
belt sander
goes in that
box.
The box is 20 years old. And he still wanted the box to put the belt.
I still put my belt sander back in the box.
I was like, okay, never mind.
The reason it wasn't in the box is because I brought it over to Pecan Grove to use it, and I left the box over there. I keep all my tools in the boxes.
And then I helped him clean the shop a little bit, and I moved and I made him some walkways. He come in and told me I put stuff in the wrong place because that was one of his walkways.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to clean his shop anymore.
Oh, there's Silver Run Coffee Crafter says, what you got? Well, I've got a kitchen table. Right now I have it's been in the attic of my barn for I don't even know where it came from. Okay, I'm just being honest. I don't know where it come from. I just know it was in my barn up in the attic as a kitchen table,
covered in dust.
Covered up in dust. What else did I have leaning up there that's left that I didn't throw in the dumpster?
We about threw most everything in the dumpster.
Do you want the computer desk, the little metal one?
Not really.
I have a little metal computer desk.
It's like a, gosh, is it like in a school or something?
Something like a school desk or something.
Weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird looking.
Just there's not much left now.
There ain't much. Well.
The Silver Run Coffee Crafters, I was going to give away one of their coffees in a little bit. I think I'm going to give away the Mellow Brew, which is the decaf.
That's a decaf coffee.
So y'all be paying attention a little bit if y'all want to try for the coffee. I have to think of what we're going to do. And I got to get back with y'all. I was wore out Monday and I missed the live stream. They do a live stream on Facebook every Monday night now.
Yeah.
And I missed the last one, so I don't know what they did on that one, but she's got one coming up that she showed up. She said they're baking up something or cooking up something or whatever. She might have said cooking up something. She had a mixer in with her coffee in front, so I'm kind of curious what she's fixing to cook up.
Yeah. I was just sitting here trying to remember everything that we had that
I don't know if there's much left.
I have a pedestal table that has the legs that come down and turn down on it, that has a round top that's probably almost
4 to 5 foot,
40 inches in diameter. It's a perfect circle. It's just a plain tabletop. It's not finished. It's still in the raw. And then I have a rectangle one about 5 or 6 feet by 2 foot, probably 5 by 2 foot.
Yeah.
That's not been finished yet. That has the.
It's interchangeable on that one base.
Yeah, that one base you can change it out. That's still leaning up in the shop right there. I haven't got rid of that yet.
Yeah.
I have a water cooler sitting there. I ain't got rid of that yet.
Beverly said she orders in 0 dark 30. Yeah. Now that's my coffee every morning. Now I've been doing the funky espresso, and I got to get with Rebecca because I'm fixing to have some more. I wait until like mid-afternoon, like 2 to 3 o'clock, and I use that little espresso machine and make it, and oh my goodness, I'm hooked on it. I'm sorry, I gotta have some.
Nikki Joyner says she had a heart attack Monday, and the cardiologist sent her home with 4 meds. She said, which I am not happy about.
Tim's working. Prayer requests. Oh, that's the one you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Molly said I need to order some decaf. Suffering through the Costco decaf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nadia says, Danny, when can I plant Malabar in zone 10B? You can plant it right now. You can plant Malabar now.
All right, Catherine said maybe take a video of what goods you have so people can decide if they could use it in their shops or just single pictures. Yeah, we thought about that, but we had the dumpster and I'd look at Danny, I'm going, do you need? No.
Nope.
And we just piled.
Yeah.
And most of it was not really anything anybody would really want. There wasn't a lot of it left. It was just things that, you know how you accumulate. And
well, a lot of it was I would go and work on.
I do have two mirrors.
On
I do have two mirrors. That's
people's houses, and they would gonna be throwing them away, and I would say, well, I'll take it home and put it in my barn. I might see somebody who needs it down the road, you know. We've got two mirrors. One is
This is one of them. If I can get it where y'all can even see it.
Yeah.
How?
It's about 3 by 4 almost, like a
Not
3 foot by
sure.
4 foot mirror. That's one mirror right there we've got to get rid of.
It's beautiful, but we just don't need it.
Do you have the other one?
I don't know. Let me see
The other one is
I
the
love
other
it.
one is huge, and it is some kind of heavy.
If you remember any of the dining room videos, go back and look at the dining room. It was hanging on the wall as you went out the door in the dining room. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't think that ever was showed in a video.
It probably was. It wasn't that we showed it on purpose, but when we're going in or out the door,
Yeah.
you might would see it hanging up there.
Let me put it to you this way. I bought it in an antique store, and it cost me $500 to buy it. And I'm not going to sell it for $500, but I mean, it's a really big, beautiful, heavy wooden mirror.
It's got the candle holders that comes out.
Yeah,
of
two
made
big
into it.
candelabras standing out in front of it out there that hold the candles.
Ada must have said things were okay right now. I don't see it, but anyway, that's good. Were your tomato slices on your BLT mushy from being frozen? No, because I ate it within 5 to 6, I'd say less than 10 minutes. I didn't let them thaw out. They were still semi-frozen. Not frozen, but not mush either. They were like ice crystals still.
Yeah.
And it was delicious. I mean, it really was good.
Marshall Farms. There's Marshall Farms. I'll be dog. I haven't seen them in a long
Hey,
time.
how are you doing?
Delane and them. Danny, what makes carrots hairy? Too much fertilizer? Not really. If you leave them in the ground, they get too old. Usually when they got a lot of hairy roots on them, they've just been in the ground too long, and they really need to come out. That's our number one way of knowing we've left them in the ground too long. Now, some people will tell you that it's too much fertilizer, but we know that we don't over-fertilize ours, and when they start getting all them hair roots on them, we just get them out.
I can't sit still, y'all. We've been moving.
We've been going since 6:30 this morning, non-stop. We stopped just long enough today to eat a little snack and eat at lunch. And we've been busting it, I mean, steady going all day.
All right, so any advice on building a small backyard chicken coop or a good place to buy one? If they could go back, we did a chicken thing.
And building a chicken coop, you want, let me put it to you this way. Don't buy the old cheap chicken wire to put around it, because if you do, anything in the world can tear through that stuff and get your chickens. Put you some hardware cloth, maybe 1x2 hardware cloth, you know, about the 8 big squares in it around the bottom. You can put the chicken wire on it, but put that on the outside of the chicken wire about 2 foot high so that predators won't tear through to get to your chickens. Because we've had stuff tear right through that chicken wire.
All right, they want to know, would I freeze dry sliced tomatoes this year? I might. I don't have my freeze dryer set up right now. That's something that we haven't done in about a year and a half. I still have it. I just haven't had the space and time to do it. But yeah, that's something. There's things like the tomatoes. I actually like them done in the oven with what did I put? The 3 cheese like Parmesan, Asiago, and Romano that you can buy mixed. You put them on your tomato slice and throw some basil on top of it. Put it in the oven and put it real low and let it dehydrate. It tastes like a mini pizza. That is one of the best ways to do tomato slices. You can also do it in a freeze dryer that way.
JT West, Mr. Joey is asking, when do you think Deepsouth will sell? Well, Joey,
we gotta get it ready for the market.
I wished I'd already sold it, to be honest with you, but Wanda and I are very OCD about stuff. I mean, we completely gutted the inside of the house.
Well, not completely.
Well, we took all the flooring out of the house and everything.
We didn't take the walls out.
The hot water heaters all come out of the house. We put brand new hot water heaters in it. We've had new air conditioning put in it, new air conditioning ductwork put in, new roof put on it.
Well, the roof's about 4 years old.
It's still new.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? We're putting a new septic system we're going to be putting in.
New back porch.
New back deck. We had the whole inside the house repainted by a professional painter. We're going to have the porch, as soon as it's where we get through inside, we're going to power wash the porch off. We're going to completely repaint the whole front porch. We're repainting the sheds outside. We're tearing down all the old chicken pens, getting rid of all that stuff. We're cleaning the shops out, power washing all them down. Just doing a lot of cleanup around the yards and stuff like that, making it as nice for the next owners. We've completely cleaned the high tunnels out. There's nothing left in them. We're just trying to get it as nice as we can for the next owners.
All right, Stephanie said, what should I fertilize my lemon tree with, and what do I use and when? It's 2 years old.
We just use a well-balanced fertilizer on our citrus trees. We don't use anything special. Now if they're blooming, we use a fertilizer that's higher in phosphorus than anything else, but mainly we try to make sure we have enough nitrogen to the trees to make sure that they grow and do well.
There's Palmetto Paratrooper.
Luke Crudrig says, y'all are so busy, do you ever sleep? I sleep about 4 hours a night. That's about all a person really needs.
I sleep from about 9 or 10 till, 6?
Yeah.
And I usually sleep pretty good.
Wanda sleeps a little bit more, but I mean, I've only slept 4 hours my whole life. I mean, that's all a person really needs. If you keeps your metabolism stays up, it keeps you pretty decent shape to be able to keep going. When you lay in bed 6 and 8 hours,
you get up and
you're like, oh, I just don't feel like doing nothing today. Where if you only sleep like 4 hours, I come up out of bed, I'm wide open running. I mean.
All right, Miss Darlene says, how did Candy get with the coffee? Well, I didn't film it, but Faith had took off to go do something in the Kubota, and I was standing there and I was drinking my coffee and something like this, and Candy comes sticking her nose up, so I turned it up and poured it, and it wasn't hot because it done gotten to the cool stage, and I poured it right on her nose, and she backed off and she looked at me and she turned her back to me, and then she went to licking her nose. And she kept licking it, and she kept her back to me the whole time, but I haven't given her any more coffee. She didn't act like she liked it, but yet she was hiding and licking it, so I guess she did like it. And it had sugar in it, so I'm sure she did.
Gene Kinlan says, I'll buy it if the price is right. How much? Well, we really haven't had an appraisal done yet because there's actually 2 houses on the property. There's two barns on the property.
2 ponds.
2 ponds, walk-in cooler, 3 high tunnels, an underground facility, a garage, an outdoor kitchen with a back porch on it. We haven't had the...
a little less than 10 acres.
Yeah, well, it is 10 acres.
That's debatable right about now.
Well, it's going to be 10 acres.
My daughter moved to Ohio. She took a picture of a roll-off dumpster and said, "Why do I have this much stuff to throw away?" I laughed. Yeah, that's what we had, was a roll-off dumpster.
You got to go way back. You got to go way further than that. It jumped a long way.
All right, where are we at?
You was even further back than that.
All right there. How is the coffee cooking going? We hadn't had time this week.
Haven't had time to do anything, to be honest with you.
I told him today, I said we need to take a little time, but this week's been just busy.
Paramedic Paratrooper says, I keep waking up at 4 a.m. no matter what time I go to sleep. I'm the same way. That's me.
He does too. All right, Delma says, ants in my orange bush tree. How do I get rid of them?
Oh, it depends on what kind of ants you're talking about. If it's the imported southern fire ants, you're just not going to get rid of them unless you use some kind of harsh poison. But now if it's like sugar ants or red ants or, just old black ants or something like that, you can take cinnamon, DE. You can use a lot of different things like that. But if it's that imported southern fire ant, them things are from hell. I'm just going to tell you. I believe when we die and go to heaven, the Lord's going to tell us they were from hell.
Let's see where we're at. Have you ever...
Did you ever get your sign made for the syrup shack?
No.
Not yet, we haven't. We just haven't had time to get it all brought together.
All right.
Gene Blair says, gee, I'm lucky to get more than 3 hours of sleep.
All right, Miss Drew said, Darlene Wright, I have a lot of fabric free. Email... Okay, yeah, Darlene, email me and I will get Miss Drew's contact information to you. All right. Where are we at? Is it legal to import ant eaters? I don't know if they would eat the imported fire ants.
Oh.
I think they might have tried that one time and it didn't work.
Well, they brought armadillos in here to eat them, and then the armadillos started eating up everything else.
Instead of the ants.
Yeah.
Roland Acres from Ironworks is cooking maple syrup in central Ohio. How are the Lincoln peas doing? They are standing up. A whole line of them right now. Plus, you said all of them in the greenhouse are up.
Mm-hmm.
So we have English peas.
Ronald Hagen has mentioned something there that most people don't think about. A lot of people don't realize when they filter their water. Some things is good to filter out of water, but when you drink water that goes through these filters, it takes literally everything out of them. You're just like drinking nothing. Okay, you're just putting a liquid in your body that has absolutely nothing in it. And you rob your body of a lot of minerals when you do that. I learned that the hard way because I was drinking filtered water for about 6 months, and all of a sudden I realized my health started deteriorating really, really bad. And come to find out, it's because I was drinking filtered water. Now, but if you're just filtering out only chlorine or fluoride or something like that, that's one thing. But if you start taking out all your minerals, it can be dangerous.
Marshall Farms asked, have you ever grew the Christmas butter beans?
Yes, we grew the Christmas limas before. They're a real big old bean.
I tried last year and I don't think
the seeds was any good.
Yeah, I'm not sure if some of the seeds we have is really old. Take your kettle and pour boiling water. Yeah, we've tried that with some of them. They just move.
They just move over a foot or so and come back up.
Danny uses gas on some of them if it's not in a spot that it's going to hurt anything.
Yeah, see, Palmetto Paratrooper's right. It says you need minerals. That's why well water is better. Yeah, we won't drink community water or municipal water or anything like that. Water. Bottled water, we don't drink anything like that.
If we get off and have to, bottled water.
We take this with us everywhere we go, and even extra.
And so if we get off and something happens, we will drink bottled water if we're at something, but not normally. We don't buy bottled water. We have a water company here that lives.
Yeah, we've got a massive
5
water
miles
company
from
5
us.
miles down the water road from us, and they're actually pulling it out of the ground, and they're not doing anything to it.
It's
But
some good water.
but they add a preservative into it, and we don't. We still don't do that.
Yeah, we tried it, and now I've drank the water from the ground. He gave us some one day we were up there, and we went where his dad's well, or not well, what was it? It was coming up out of the ground.
That's well.
It was his well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that water was
Spring
really
fed.
good. Spring fed. That's what I was looking for.
Aaron Mass says, "What about iron? Hard water from well, is it safe or should we filter it?" We don't. Our wells turns everything in it dark red, the backs of the toilet and all that, because it's so high in iron. Ms. Wanda had an iron deficiency, and she drinks that water all the time. I mean, so it ain't affecting the iron any at all.
All right, Melissa, I'm not sure if that discount code still works. It might have been that was one that they had 1 month. So if it didn't work, then I don't know. Call Vago, and if you have the number, and ask them, and they may have a different one. But the one that was in there, I started to take it off because I think that was some special they had 1 month that said something about 5% off, and I think it must have been certain things, and I didn't have that on there. You still get a discount, I think, if you use my code, but I'm not 100% positive.
Oh man, let's see.
Even pink Himalaya, we use the Redmonds, and it has the minerals in it. We've gotten to where that's all we use now. Cook everything in cast iron. Yes, we do. We cook a lot with cast iron.
Forrest Gump says, our well water is so bad with rust, manganese, and farm chemicals, not possible to drink it straight. Well, actually, don't do away with the manganese, because manganese is what you need in your body for your body to absorb all the other minerals in your body. As a matter of fact, manganese is the one mineral that Big Brother has taken out of most of the foods out there on the market, so that your body will not assimilate any of the nutrients out of the food that you're eating, which will make you sick in the long run.
All right, what can we do for the mellow brew?
There was one person way while ago
I saw 2 or 3 people said something, but how many of you drink decaf coffee? I see a show of hands, and we'll find somebody that way. Yeah, the sulfur in the well water is not good.
Usually when you get sulfur, your well's been drilled too deep. That's what happens when you try to put in a really deep well, is you end up with sulfur in it. Now, some places it may be closer to the top of the ground, but usually it's around 300 foot, 250 to 300 foot and beyond when you start hitting sulfur. Because we've drilled one at a piece of property one time, because people kept saying, I want a deep well, I want a deep well, and the guy kept going deeper. He said, I don't recommend it. And he kept going deeper, and he hit water again, and it smelled like rotten eggs. I mean, it was really bad.
All right, so here's all the people that...
That's the one while ago I saw that was...
Okay. I think they've won something.
Oh, have they?
Yes.
Okay, with this one here then.
Let's see. What's the name?
Vicky says manganese or magnesium. It's manganese, Vicky, that Big Brother has taken out of most of the food, not magnesium, because most of your food now don't even have magnesium in it because the soil is deficient in so many places. But manganese is the one mineral that they've taken out.
All right, so this coffee, Mellow Brew from Silver Run Coffee Crafters, or silverruncoffee.com, is waterpressed. It is not done the way coffee's done in the stores. Let's put it that way.
It's not chemically decaf with toluene or benzene or one of the other chemicals that they use to decaf with. This one is done literally through a waterpress system.
And it really is a good smooth coffee. Now, if I'm going to drink coffee after 3 o'clock, I have some Mellow Brew. Now, the winner is
Sue Ann Kritzer.
So
Sue Ann
email.
Kritzer, send us your information to deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com, and Miss Wanda will get with you and see if she can't get that sent to you.
Yeah. Let's see where we're at. Was there something
Silver
else?
Run Coffee says mountain water process.
Mountain water. I
Yeah.
knew it was something water. Let me see these. Hand me that package there, because I was going to give away a couple of these tonight too. All right, so we showed on Pecan Grove when we went live a few days ago. The Survival Garden Seeds is 36 functional flower garden kit. Now you can get this kit at I think it's Survival Garden. Let me make sure. SurvivalGardenSeeds.com. Yeah, that's where to find it. Let's see what one of them that we want to give away. How about that one? I'm going through looking. Cosmos, we've done those before. Alright.
That was a very popular one there.
Which one?
That one right there.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to give away a Cosmos, a Mallow
Rose.
Rose, okay, and Amaranth. So y'all be paying attention. We'll give those away in just a little bit. Now, yes, Survival Garden Seeds is usually pretty good seeds, and we did give away a gift certificate to St. Clair.
Yeah.
I got in touch with the guy, and
Susan Kritzer says, which email address? Deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com, Susan. People are always saying what they want.
y'all already saying what y'all want. Well, let me find somebody while you talk about
Okay.
something besides us working all the time.
Oh gosh, guys, my back is about to give me
Raw
fits
Food Brother
today.
says, will Deep South be worth $1 million? It's worth $1 million to me, but I don't know if it's worth $1 million to anybody else.
Let's put it this way, it ain't far from being that much anyway.
Let me see what I got going on here. All right, let's see who said what they wanted here.
Math Prepper said, we spent the morning going through our seeds and getting ready to plant. That's one thing that most people take for granted, and we're one of them. You know, we're one of them. We have a huge seed bank in the office here, and literally many times I forget to even go to the seed bank. I'll just run out there and in the shop or something where I've got seeds at in the shop also, and I don't even come to the seed bank, and I'll say, oh, I think I'm going to plant this, or I think I'm going to plant that, and I'm really guilty of not sitting down going through my seeds like I probably should.
Oh, wait, I jumped. I'm trying to get this.
Oh, let's see here. Miss Wanda's been trying her best to get her a place ready to plant some flowers. And it's just, it's really difficult when you're trying to lay out a piece of property and figure out exactly where you want this at and where you want that at. And then you got to contend with the fact that the deer's going to come eat them up. You know what I mean? So you have to take all those things into consideration whenever you're actually trying to put that out.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a rose bed.
All
right. So I'm trying to write this down so I don't forget, because my helpers, some of them's gone.
Yeah.
All right.
Let it continue to roll there, right? Because oh, it jumped. Okay.
Are you planting Star of David okra?
Yes, this year, Darlene, we're going to plant some Star of David okra on one place, and then we're going to plant some white okra, which I think it's a white velvet okra, in another place. So that we try to keep them far enough apart that they don't cross-pollinate.
Yeah.
Diane Lyons says, deer don't like rosemary. Well, I don't know how much they don't like about rosemary, but they was all up in there with our rosemary. They wasn't eating it, but they were trying to sniff Miss Wanda's carrots, because Miss Wanda's carrot tops are up about, they're up about 16 inches tall, and the deer was standing off out there with her nose stuck up in the air. I know what they were sniffing. They were sniffing them carrots.
But I've got white, what is it?
Frost cover.
Frost cover over them.
Yeah.
Now, they can't see them under there. That's my saving grace. But my carrots are getting too tall, and it's got to come off. And Danny's got to figure out how he can make something else happen.
Yeah. I see here. River Bottom Homestead says, "What's a good fertilizer for onions?" Well, onions only really require one massive fertilizer, and then they require just little bits of other. The number one thing is nitrogen. It is a fixed nitrogen. They love, love, love nitrogen. Secondly is phosphorus. They need the phosphorus for a good root growth. Any root plant needs phosphorus, but mainly nitrogen. And plenty of water and plenty of nitrogen up front, but once they start making a bulb, back off on the water and the nitrogen a little bit, and just let them Cadillac.
Yeah, and before I forget it, I put dill seeds up, some of Danny's dill seed that he saved. They're on our Etsy store, and when we get through with the live stream, it might take me 10 or 15 minutes, but I will put some Danny corn up, because I promised some people I would put some more up, and when it's gone, it's gone. I might have a few more packs in a week, but this will be the last of the Danny corn that we're going to sell. So the deal, the pictures that I put up of the deal on Etsy are pictures of a friend of ours that passed away a couple of years ago. She was out in the deal, and I took some pictures of her in it, and this has been about 4 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And Ashley passed away it's been almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Maybe a little over 2 years.
At least 2 years. Beautiful young lady. In her
Yeah.
looks like about mid-30s, I guess. Yeah.
And she was admiring the deal that day, and I snapped pictures, and so I knew that was probably some of the best pictures I had of the deal, so that's what I put on Etsy.
Yeah. Jana Riley says, "I received my deal seeds. Thank you."
I don't know what variety of deal it is. It's just deal.
It's just deal.
It just grew outrageous.
The stuff grows like 6 to 8 feet tall. It just grows out of control. That's all I know is it's just deal, and it is good.
Yeah. Danny, do you think 1,000 feet is far enough away for the white okra and Star of David?
1,000 foot, that's 3 football fields. Yeah, that's plenty far away. Yeah.
We don't plant sugar snaps here. They don't seem to do well. We just plant the English peas, the shelling green peas.
Tim Peters at Farm and Garden says, "Mr. Danny, I wish I could figure out how to send an email." Well, there's really not anything to it.
Do you have an email account?
Do you have an email account? If you do,
go to the send button and then type in our email, deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. And then you can type in the place where it says to type, and then hit send.
JH says, "Fertilizer for Belle of Georgia peach trees." Well, if you're first planting them, we put fireplace ashes and rabbit manure in the ground. And the first year, I don't usually do a lot of fertilizer first year, because I like for my roots to do what I call go grocery shopping. I like for them to really grow out in the ground looking for food. And then in the second year, I'd use a well-balanced fertilizer, like maybe some triple 13 or something like that, and I sprinkle it around the limb span of the tree, not up against the base of it, but around the limb span, just a little bit, not much.
All right, you can buy the deal seeds at deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com. It's ETSY. Okay, Tim asks,
have I decided on a variety of sweet corn? Yeah, Tim, in my freezer I have Oh,
Stole.
Stoil Evergreen that I let go to seed myself. It's an heirloom sweet corn. We're going to try to go dig that out of the freezer. It's been in there now about 6 years, I reckon. So,
Oh, wow.
it's been in there a while. We're going to see if we can find it in there, and we're going to replant it and see if it comes up. Because the Stoil of Evergreen, it's a white sweet corn, and
It is so
it is
sweet.
so good.
Keith said his bacon was amazing. Our bacon's amazing too.
I'm glad it turned out good for him.
Several people have sent me emails, and Keith could have been one, I don't know, but I've gotten emails from 3 or 4 people in the last few weeks that have been doing their own bacon, and they are hooked.
I'm telling you, guys.
They're using the little smokers, though they don't have a smokehouse.
That's okay.
They're using these little smokers.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What fertilizer did you use on the celery?
I used Hoss Tools 20-20-20.
Okay. All right, so now the amaranth. The winner is Linda Riddle, Riddle. Send me an email. The Mallow Rose. The winner is Shannon Allen. And the Cosmos is Patricia Bonifant, 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 Patricia. Y'all send me an email.
Let's see here. Ben's Fish and Hunt says, do you know if I can get white sweet potato tubers sent from you to me in Australia because I can't get them anywhere over here? No, they won't even allow us to ship anything out of the state of Mississippi that has to do with sweet potatoes anywhere.
Yeah.
Unless we own a license and all that kind of stuff.
Check with Hoss Tools.
I would check with.
Because they do have a license to ship. And
he's in Australia. See if he.
Yeah, see if they can send to Australia. I don't know if they can or not, but Hoss Tools, tell Greg that we sent you over there to check it out. Maybe they can. Let's see where we got.
Oh, let's see here.
They're saying congratulations. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
It is time for us. It's 8 o'clock.
Yes. So the coffee and the flower winners, y'all please send me your emails. And we have.
Did you ever hear from the other person without the gift card?
Yes,
okay.
I think so.
Okay.
What it was, I had forgotten to check out. I thought it already sent, and I didn't check it out. So it's sent.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's too many regulations to do a lot of things, and so.
Yeah.
We can't. We're not even supposed to sell them anywhere.
We're not supposed to sell slips anywhere. We're not supposed to do anything out of the state of Mississippi.
There's something to do with something in Mississippi. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Let's see where. Why not write a book on fertilizer schedule for all of your plants? Because we don't have time.
Yes, time is my enemy right now. Silver Run Coffee Cracker says, "Where do you sell
corn?"
Rebecca, you and Brad, don't worry, we'll get you some corn.
Yeah. Email again is deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. Yeah. Vicky said the post office was concerned that she might be shipping liquids. You did.
Oh, look.
Maple syrup is a valuable liquid.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. We got contacted by the FBI one time because
it was funny.
It was really funny, but I guess it probably wasn't. We had a friend of ours from California shipping us some avocados, and they shipped them in an apple crate with all the little things in it.
The indentions where they fit in the apple crate.
Yeah.
And she filled it full of avocados. Well, y'all know what an avocado looks like.
The scanner
picked it up something else.
Yeah, we got a call from the FBI or Homeland Security.
It was Homeland
Security, not FBI. Homeland Security, And they wanted to know, could they open the package and look in it? I said, well, sure, why? He said, because it looks like it's got hand grenades all in it, you know.
We died out
we
laughing.
died out laughing. I told him, I said, no, go ahead and open it. I said, if it is, something's wrong. And he told me they've been getting a lot of packages out of Southern California with stuff like that in it, you know, so.
But it was actually avocados.
It was actually avocados.
It was funny.
It was funny.
I can have some Ohio maple syrup for you this year as soon as the weather cooperates for tapping trees. Yes.
That's just funny, jump outdoors. That's funny to think about when you get to that right temperature, about the, what is it, 40 to below freezing, somewhere in there. I mean, we're already in the 80s down here, you know. We're sitting here thinking,
yeah, we've
wow.
got some maple trees, and I was asking Danny, I said, why can't we have maple from our maple trees? He said, because it don't get cold enough.
Yeah, it don't get cold enough. It don't get cold enough long enough here.
Yeah. All right, Miss Lois says she has worms in the plums trees last year. Any suggestions?
Fireplace ashes I found works about the best. If you don't want to use any kind of chemical sprayers, now you can use, there's a clay solution called K-A-N-O-L-I-N that you can spray on your, since it's an organic solution, you can spray for that. And I don't know if it's organic. I don't know how well it will work, but I know that I've used it a lot on trees for that.
All right. Miss Patty at Southern Blessed asked for prayers for her daughter and granddaughter. And Miss Ada, who is in Puerto Rico, asked for prayers, please.
Probably the tsunamis down there. Yeah, Blue Sky said I had the AC on today. We almost did.
I had the fan on.
Wanda had the fan going. Yeah.
I told Danny, I said, okay, fan's coming on. What is good for cabbage bugs? Cabbage? They like cabbage. We harvested another cabbage
another cabbage today. I mean, you can use BT, Bacillus thuringiensis is an organic spray that will get rid of cabbage worms or any kind of soft-bodied caterpillar. It'll get rid of any of them. And the corn worms, cabbage worms, any kind of worms like that. It'll get rid of tomato worms.
Joe Mama said that Scott scans came back, no new cancer, so that's a
praise report there now. That is, oh yeah.
Rich wants to know, where do we get our white okra seeds? We really don't know.
They came from a subscriber from Alabama.
And we thought it was one person, and they said no, it wasn't them. So now we don't know who it was. It was somebody that visited us, though.
Yeah, it was somebody.
They handed it to us in person, and the person that we thought it was, we asked them, and they said no, it wasn't us. And we're like, okay, so now we're at a loss at who it actually was.
Let's see here. T-Bear says, M.I. Gardner has the Stoil Evergreen corn. Is that what you were stating you had in the freezer? Yes, I have the Stoil Evergreen corn in the freezer, but mine definitely didn't come from Luke.
No, I think we actually started from Walmart. So
we got some we got some packs at Walmart, several packs, and we planted them. We harvested the corn, and I let some stay on the stalk till it went to seeds. And we planted those seeds the next year.
We planted them about 4 times. And
it made such a good crop of corn. We let some more dry, and I had like a gallon bag of it saved up, you know.
We can plant quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it started from them little bitty packs, you know.
Yeah, it just started from the little Walmart packs, you know, it says Stoil Evergreen on them, like 20 seeds in a pack or something all like that.
There's Miss Heidi. She popped in.
Hey, Heidi.
Tim's been in here, but he's supposed to be working.
Yeah, Heidi, I don't hardly ever see Heidi in here. Tim will drop in. He's at work when he's not.
He's not working. He's at work.
I did not say that.
I said it.
I did not say that. Tim, I did not say that. No.
Yeah. Let's see where we're at now. Is there a local, I saw something said, is there a local nursery something? I don't have a clue where it went. It jumped. All right.
Hold on, somebody was asking a question. Keep going down.
Back?
No, keep going down. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Can you please say spray one more time?
What
The
kind
only
of spray?
the only spray I said was well, I said two different ones. I said one was for the plum trees. That was KAYLON or KANLON. I can't remember if it's Kayla. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's an organic spray for fruit trees. It's actually a clay, to be honest with you. And then there was the BT, which was Bacillus thuringiensis for the cabbage worms.
Okay, now Ben's Fishing and Hunting asked, is there a link? HossTools.com.
Yeah.
HossTools.com. HossTools.com. Check them out and see if can ship to you in Australia. Stephanie, I'm going to be doing that biscuit recipe maybe this week. I didn't have time to do it this past week. So I will try and get in the kitchen and make them and show what I did. And it's really easy and really good. And I'll do proportions.
Okay. RD has it up. KAOLIN. I don't know how you say that. Kaolin?
Yeah.
Kaolin?
Kaolin, I don't know. Kaolin clay.
Yeah, it's a clay. I knew it was a clay.
All right, they're saying James Prigiani did a video on it. He has some really good videos. I've watched him from time to time. He does a lot of good stuff there. All right.
Beverly Michael said BT saved her cabbage last year. Only had to spray once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a BT is pretty good.
Have you ever heard of Pink Pineapple grocery store selling it but cut the tops off? Oh wow. Yeah, they don't want you to grow your own.
They don't want you to grow your own. That's what it is.
We noticed that 2 or 3 years ago because we were using the tops to grow, and then we got to noticing they took the centers out, and you can't grow it without the centers.
Oh, Frankie 902 Homestead said, I need everyone to pray for my friend. They went to the Mardi Gras Great Ball last night and was found drugged.
Oh no.
Was found outside on the ground injured very bad. She's very traumatized. She's in her 60s. Well, first of all, we don't do the Mardi Gras thing, and I don't think anybody really ought to do the Mardi Gras thing, but that's your own, your own choices. But we will pray. We will pray for them also.
All right, Tony asked, is there a nursery in Stone County that may have the Owari Satsumas? Not a nursery.
No, not a nursery.
Where do we find them? Jack's Plant and Patio may carry them, and Alexander's Hardware. They don't have them in right this minute, but they may carry them later.
They'll probably get them in a little bit later.
Is there a way to recalculate how many hours of sun the garden gets considering all the random overcasts from chemtrails? Not really.
Well, let's just put it this way, Old Dominion. We plant in partial shade now. Not necessarily from the hours that the sun shines out, but we do it mainly because of the intensity of the sun. That's what we're going off of and in solar cycle 25 the radiation from the sun is going to be way worse than it normally is. Okay, we got to pray. We done been way over our time.
And we do want to remember the people where these earthquakes, tsunamis, whatever possible tsunamis, and our government and the people with the flu and different stuff. My daughter and her family's had it around, and we know different people have had it, so remember all that.
Father, we come to you tonight, Lord. We just bow our heads humbly here before you, and we come to you on behalf of the people in the chat tonight, asking that you would bless them, Father, first of all. Secondly, many of them have a lot of prayer requests that's been mentioned here. And Father, we'd ask that you would answer the prayer requests in a way that will edify and glorify you and bring peace and grace to them also. And if you decide not to answer the prayers, then Father, what we would say is, Lord, give them the grace to be able to live with the circumstances that they're faced with here now. We've got a lot of people in harm's way right now with these earthquakes that's taking place down in the Caribbean. We've got some of our people watching here tonight who possibly was in the tsunami warnings, and so we're asking that you watch over these people, Father, and all in the United States. We've had some mudslides all over western United States. Some of them even up into the eastern part of the United States. There's been some mudslides. We need you to watch over as this atmospheric river continues to move across the nation, and as it runs into this polar vortex, it's going to create all kinds of just hazardous conditions for the whole nation for about a 2-week period here. Looks like we got about 3 or 4 cold fronts coming down in a row, and Father, many people could be without power. They could freeze to death. They may be blackouts. There's a lot of things that could be happening during this particular time. We would ask that you would help them to all check on one another, families to check on one another, and check on the elderly, people to take care of their pets and plants, and just be able to make it through this unusual polar weather that we're having. And it's all based on the solar cycle, Father. We know that, and I'm just praying for people that's in the paths of this, Father. And Lord, there's more events that's going to be coming in the weeks that lie ahead. We're just going to ask that you please protect us all. Be with the leaders of our nation right now. They're trying to do some things to weed out the wasteful spending of our tax money, and Father, it seems like the wickedness of the nation is trying to get back because they don't want to get caught in what they've been doing. So we're praying that whatever your will is in this, that you will make that come to fruition now. And go with us through the night, guide and direct us, help us to rise up tomorrow to do your will now. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. Oh my goodness, my back.
Oh man, I'm hurting too.
Whew. I have to get straightened up here.
What was your tip you told me earlier? You remember? I died out laughing when he told me the tip.
Miss Wanda asked me, said, what's your tip for tonight going to be? I've been up under the front porch of the house in mud, laying in mud, working for several hours this afternoon, just laying in the mud. And I told her, I said, my tip for tonight is don't get under the house in the mud and work, you know.
Make sure it's dry.
Make sure it's dry, because it's muddy, it's cold, under that porch and all. And I look like I look horrible when I come out from under there.
Hey, Bama Gardner, we'll be praying for you. It's good to see you in here tonight.
Yeah, I seen her in a lot earlier tonight. Yeah. It's good to see she's able to come out and be in with us, so.
And Miss Ada, if you don't mind, send us an email in a couple of days and let us know if you're how things are going there where you're at.
Yeah.
So we can kind of keep up.
Oh man. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Yeah.
Do you have a tip?
Do I have? I'm looking at Country Humans Network says Doge is exposing what's been wasted. Yeah, they ain't liking that none too much. Tip is a hot tub. Yeah, right now that'd be a good tip. Be a hot tub. Epsom salt in your bath water. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, tonight I have really thought a lot about tonight. You know, there's so much.
My bath is good for your skin.
Y'all see my elbows? You see how red well, I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but they're really red.
They're really red all in here.
I've been on my elbows in the mud, trying to take a shovel and dig, and then take a drill motor, and I mean it's been horrible.
But he got his project done.
I got finished with my project. I got finished with it. I was trying to stop a water issue, is what it was, where the water drains under the house. I was trying to get that stopped. Nip it in the bud before
it goes around.
Before it starts raining next week here, because we're supposed to be getting a lot of rain.
The tip is a nice exfoliating soap.
Oh, but no, there is there's something that we were told this past week. I don't have all the details on it, but I was told that Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi had some sort of event that we needed to pay attention for. We didn't find out what the event was, but that these three states needed to pay attention in the very near future. And also, let's see, it's March, April. By the end of May, we're going to be reaching a point in history that is a very crucial point. I'm not going to go into details on here about it right now, but the end of May, we've also been told that we need to really pay attention because there could be some environmental possible changes coming up by the end of May. I'm not sure about 100% of the details on that. That's the reason I won't go ahead and just talk about it, because I don't know all the details on it yet. Maybe if I find out some more later on, I will mention it. But right now, the end of May is a very, very long cycle in history that's going to be coming to a close. And usually when this comes to a close, there is some sort of events that take place. I'm just not sure exactly what all the events are. I do know we've had this planetary alignment this past week, and it hasn't done anything. I mean, a lot of people were panicking about that. I'm not worried about that. There is still, the red dust is still being talked about.
Yeah.
About coming, which, let me say this, should a volcano, what we call a super volcano, should one of them erupt, that's why we have mentioned to you all to get your air breathing respirators with filters on them. Because when a volcano erupts, it sends out, sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, which is actually like little fine glass crystals. And if you breathe them in, they get into your lungs, and they actually cut your lungs on the inside. So with what's going on in Greece and what's going on in the Caribbean and some of these other, we've got several other giant volcanoes that's really building right now. I think there's like 8 of them all together. If one of these goes off and this stuff gets into the upper atmosphere, and it can travel around the world in the upper atmosphere, and it can be dropped down in certain places, especially when you get rainstorms and stuff to this nature. And you really
won't know it.
Well, then we've got...
You can't smell it or anything in the atmosphere, I don't think. Can you?
Well, you can't smell it. There won't be any smell to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no... I mean, you really don't know.
You'll know it because when you go outside, you'll see it on your car, or you'll see it, on things like that. If you rub your hands across a windshield or something, you'll see it on your hands. These are events that we're going to have to watch out for. Now, the red dust is actually coming from outer space. This is a iron oxide that is going to be coming from outer space through a cosmic trail that's going to be coming through our solar system, and it will be coming to the Earth. And you'll know it when it happens. I mean, you won't have to ask, okay? You won't have to run around and ask somebody if it's going to happen. You'll know when it happens.
All right, so I got to get up and move.
Okay. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. All right, we got to get off of here. We done been on here almost 23 minutes longer than we probably should have. So y'all have a blessed night, and we will see you in the next video.